Alright, what up y'all? Today I'm gonna be doing my first barber tutorial on the channel. We're gonna be doing a low taper, modern mullet kind of deal. This fading method's not really a fast fading method. It's more of like a beginner style kind of fading method. And sorry in advance if y'all can't see the angles right, cause it was my first time recording it, but I'll have more coming in and I'll get better as I go. So first step for every cut, you want to comb through your client's hair, all of it. Make sure it's all lifted up from the scalp. It'll make it easier to cut. I didn't do a good job here, but it'll do. And then you're gonna want to, starting from the crown area all the way down to the corner of his hairline, you're gonna want to section the hair. It'll help you separate the top from the part you want to fade. So just be sure to clip it up or pin it up, however you think will work best for you, but just make sure you separate this. It'll make it way easier for you to fade. Once you separated both sides of the head, you're going to want to comb all this hair out. Now all of this area right here is where your fade is going to go. He wants a low taper, so we're going to preserve as much bulk as possible. We're going to start with the number 3 guard, and the way you're going to want to fade is you're going to want to leave it close to the skin, as close as possible, but as you get to the bulk, you're going to want to scoop out, go in like a scooping motion right off the head. The key to this is going right off the head, and don't be scared to cut like right here where I'm cutting right now, where the vertical bar and the C cup is at. If you cut this, it's going to make it look way cleaner than just leaving it bulky and dirty, trust me. Don't be scared to get in there in these areas right here. If you cut this down a little bit with the 3, it'll still make it look clean and give it that darkness of the low taper, but make it look extra clean, make it look like you actually got a cut. And to blend into the bulk, all you got to do is go right off the head. Right here, I'm not touching his scalp at all. I'm just going right off of his head. This is kind of the motion I'm doing. Close, and then scoop out. You stick it close to the head, and then you just go straight up like a straight line. Don't leave it close to the head, because if you leave it close to his scalp, it's just gonna leave him with a bald spot. All right, now is where we start fading. So for my low tapers, I like to put my bald line around right here, where like the top of the little circle thing on the ear starts. So just put a line on there. Don't be scared to just get started. A lot of people say you shouldn't put your guidelines like this, but I think it's pretty easy to get the line out if you know what you're doing. And this is where the low taper should end, or where the mid taper would start, just so you can get a little reference. You want to just shave all this off right here. If he has a beard, I like to just start the beard line right where this little round part of the ear is at, just so you could get it down. For the full shaver, you're just going to want to just flick up, but don't go all the way up to the dark line. Leave a little space, and you're gonna have this little faint line right here, and all you want to do is just tap at it and drag it down, just like this. And when you go up too, you should also flick out right before you get to that little line. Instead of doing the lever all the way open, I like to leave it halfway, just 2 notches closed right here, and then you're gonna want to just do a half an inch guideline. To measure my guidelines, I like using my pinky's width. This is about half an inch. You could leave it slightly a little bit shorter just to play with it, but all right, once you have your guideline, you just got to close it 2 notches, and then it'll fade in just by itself. So close it one notch, and just go slightly below where you left the original guideline using your corners. And then once you do that, just close it all the way fully, and then you're just going to want to attack the bottom faint line that's showing. And all you want to do is just your corners, just flick out with the corners, and make sure you're cutting with your moving blade. Don't be scared to get in there. Make sure the hair is getting inside the moving blade. You might have a little leftover line to connect to the bald. All you got to do is just use your trimmer with the corners and just slightly, just kiss the little line and just flick out with it. And if the hair texture you're cutting, it might have just blended in perfectly, and you don't even got to do this step. This is just extra in case you have a small line left. All right, next you're gonna want to put on your half guard, and again, lever halfway closed, and do the same thing you did with the lever open. Just a little half inch guideline, and then you're gonna fade it out the exact same way too. Just lever play by closing the 2 notches. Alright, so just lever play with the 2 notches, just closing one at a time. Close it one notch and go a little bit below the original guideline, and then close it again, and then just flick at the very bottom line, and it should fade in. And if you have a little bit left over, you can always just open your lever up with no guard or halfway, and just with your corners just slightly tap at the very bottom of that guideline, and it should take it off. But depending on the hair texture, it should have just faded in by itself. Alright, next step, you're going to want to do another 1/2 inch guideline with the 1.5. Just following the same thing you've been doing, but just a 1/2 inch guideline, same exact thing. To fade this line out, I like using the one guard with the lever all the way open, just corner work, just tapping at this line just to soften it up. If you're more experienced, this step isn't really needed. This is more for like just softening it up and just making it easier to fade out. But if you're a beginner, I highly recommend doing this step. It might take your fade a little longer, but it'll make it easier. And to fully remove the line, I like to use the half guard. Use the half guard, lever all the way open, and just flick at that line and just corner work only. This is probably one of, if not the most tedious part of the fade, where it puts it all together. So just take your time, corner work only, and make sure the hair is feeding through the moving blade. And also, depending on the hair texture you're cutting, you might have to even lever play with it also. Right here I have it set to halfway, and I'm just very carefully tapping at the same line, so don't get confused. You can still lever play with it, just don't get too carried away with it. I wouldn't go any shorter than halfway. Alright, and the final step to connect the fade is the 2 guard lever all the way open. All you got left is this little line right here that connects it to the 3. So just with your corners, you're just gonna do the same thing you did with the last one with the half guard, and just fade this line out. Now you might have a little line left over. To take it out, just get your 1.5, lever all the way open, and do the same thing. Just corner work, flicking out, flicking out. Like I said, this isn't the fastest way to fade, but it's probably one of the easiest ways to learn. And you could even whip out the 1 guard all the way open and just tap even lower at that line, corner work only. This is all detail work right here, just to get this line out. This is probably one of the most stubborn lines to get out, but if you get it right, this is what makes your fade look blurry. This is connected from the gray to the black. All right, for your next step, we're gonna work on the C cup. You want to get some hair spritz and just spray it on there. This will make the line extra crispy and hold the hairs in place for you to be able to get the best line up possible. I sprayed a little bit too much on my guy right here, but once you spray it, you just blow dry it on there and brush it down, and then it'll hold the hair in place for you to line it up. Once the hair's in place, you just want to start your line right on the side of the sideburn. Just make a little nice crispy line. Don't try not to push it in too much, but a little slight pushback is okay, just as long as it's not like halfway through the fade, you know. Like right there, you can barely see a little line. Just little starter line to help you out. Once that line is done, you're gonna want to start the top next to the vertical bar, raise up the hair to see where his edge up actually starts, so you don't get confused with the overhang. And again, don't be scared of a slight pushback. A slight pushback is okay. And once you have those two, just make a U shape and connect both. Use your trimmer like if you're drawing with a pencil. Once the C cup is done, now you want to do the vertical bar. Just comb the hair all to the side, move it out of the way, and you just want to slightly connect it to the bottom. So you're gonna have to push it slightly back to make it crispy. This is just the way it is, you know. Just a little slight pushback, as you can see right here. Just angle the blade kind of angled, not straight up, so it can actually look straight, because if you do straight up, it's gonna like look inwards when you see it from the front. Now that that's done, you can fade in the beard. The way you fade in a beard is simple. You do the same exact steps you did on the fade for the haircut, but just going down pretty much, just in reverse, if that makes sense. And to line up the back, just brush all the hair off like towards the ear and just hit that line right there, just that natural line. And for the edge up around the ear, It's not anything crazy, it's no rocket science. Just follow his natural line, just line it up. This is probably the most easy part of the haircut. And again, here, don't be scared of a slight pushback here. His hair is more natural, so I'm able to just keep his natural line, but everyone's hair is different. Here I'm just prepping him for some razor work. I'm not really gonna go into detail for the razor work. Basically the way it works is you pull opposite to where you're cutting, and don't apply too much pressure. Always have your blade angled, and obviously don't go freaking sideways with the blade. Then once you're done with everything, this is all natural right here. This is just blade and line up. Then you just switch over to the other side and just do the same thing. Alright, once you're done with both sides of your fade, you're going to want to move to the back part of the cut. This part is pretty self-explanatory. Just brush all the hair downwards. You can even apply some spritz or hairspray if it'll make you feel more comfortable, but you got to identify his natural line. So you can't do it too low because then it'll just look weird and grow back quick. You got to do it to where his natural line is without taking it too high up. So what I like to do is just start at the highest point or pretty near it, which is right here. For the hairstyle he's going for, he just wants to grow it out right now, so we're just gonna do a small trim. Once you saturate the hair all the way, as much as possible, make it wet. You want to comb it all the way back and then just try and find his natural part in the middle. Just playing with it like this will just pop out a middle part, and just comb it over to the side slightly like this. Once you have both sides hanging over, all you got to do is just grab a piece of the long hair with a small part of the side and just do a small trim. Just trim it up, angling it outwards. Here you can kind of see better what I'm doing. And the easiest way to style this cut is just doing a straight slick back, just slicking it all backwards. And then when you blow dry the hair, all you're gonna do is apply your paste. For him, I'm using level 3 paste, and you just scrunch to each side, and it'll naturally part to each way you want it to part. And then once you blow dry the product in and melt it with hot air, you can grab the front pieces and just play with it, curl them up, scrunch up more, just texture it up however you want. And boom, that's pretty much it. That's the fade. Low taper with the middle part, and then just rounding out the back with a mullet. Look at that smile. That's $1 million smile right there. And that's it, simple enough. I'm gonna be doing more of these. I'm learning as I go, so I'm trying to figure out all the angles and stuff like that to make sure y'all can see all the steps properly. And at the end, don't forget to, every time after every cut, when you take off the next strip, you're gonna have this dirty line of hair. Don't forget to shave that off, and that's it. That's the last step. Appreciate y'all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm gonna post more of these all the time. And yeah.